Handicapper Steve here, handicapping the racing from Belmont Park here on Saturday. It is June the 11th, 2016. Going to look at race number 11, the Belmont Stakes. Before I get on to that, remember to please follow me on Twitter at Horse Racing Kid 5 for more selections. Also, if you want the incredible undercard for racing from Belmont, that's going to be in a separate video for like the Manhattan, the Met Mile, the Easy Goer. Separate video, because if I put it all together, it's going to be like a 3-hour video. So that link will be in the description box. But this part, it's only the Belmont Stakes. Race number 11, it's the 148th running of the Belmont Stakes. Grade 1, pursed $1.5 million. It's only for 3-year-olds. We have 13 horses traveling one full lap around Big Sandy, a mile and a half on the dirt course. There's some chances of thunderstorms at Belmont on Saturday, so there might be some rain, so just keep that in mind. The track is very deep. It gets very deep, I think, when it rains, on the rails. So you want a good kind of horse on the outside, I think. That's my personal opinion. I find it to get a little deep. Well, it looks deep. We have 13 horses in this year's Belmont Stakes. I'm going to look at all of them, give you my opinion on all the horses. It's a very difficult race to handicap because when I handicap the race, I'll look over the past performances, look what horse catches my eye, and I'll write the number down, then go to replays. When I wrote down all the numbers, I had about 8 horses I really liked out of 13, so I had to make that list, shorten it up a lot. So I found some horses. I'm going to go through the whole field, starting off with number 1, Governor Malibu, at 12-1, Joe Rosario for Christophe Clement, who won the 2014 edition of the Belmont with Tonalist. Tonalist, after that, had a very good career, winning some very nice races in New York, especially the Jockey Club Gold Cup. I believe he won the Cigar Mile. He's a very good horse, that Tonalist. This horse is New York bred also. I wonder who was the last New York bred, if a New York bred has won the Belmont. But last time out, this horse ran in the local prep for the Belmont in the Peter Pan. This horse finished second by 3/4 length behind Unified. Remember Unified. Unified is a horse that if that mile and eighth distance was around 2 turns, he wasn't winning. The mile and eighth here at Belmont, since it's 1 turn, tends to be more towards speed horses. So it's kind of a long sprint, basically. And, he ran a hell of a race, Unified. Not to knock his win, but this horse was really closing on him that day. I think the mile and a half distance should be right up this horse's alley. He's a use for me on pick 3 tickets, pick 4 tickets, pick 6 tickets. This horse ran the Tessio at Laurel, the prep race for the Preakness, the local prep race down in Maryland. This horse won by nose, but got placed second through disqualification because he came in and bumped the second place horse. I think this horse, like I said, he has a very strong chance. The last run in the Peter Pan really was incredible in that field of 8 horses. Closed up very good at the end, but the horse was weakening on the lead. Unified, slightly pulling up, but watch out for this horse to run a good start. He's 3-0 here at Belmont, but this is his base. He's been training very good. He has 2 seconds, 1/3. Ran here last. He finished second last time out. Finished third in Sleepy Hollow, and finished second in Belmont Main Specialty. Watch out for this horse to run a monster race today. Number 2, Destin, 6-1, Javier Castellano for Todd Pletcher. Finished 6th in the Derby 6 weeks ago, something like that now. It was a decent 6th place finish. He had a horrible start, was closing up a tiny bit, but I'd like to see a better race out of him. I have him on like superfecta tickets to win. I'm gonna try and go somewhere else with him. He had for that start after, I don't know, 6, 7, 8 week layoff he had. March 12th to May 7th was the layoff. He ran the Tempe Derby, won by length. After that long layoff, he finished a decent 6th. But I'm gonna try and find a different horse here. He's I don't know if he can really go the mile and a half. I know a lot of people think he can. I don't think he has a good chance of winning superfecta. Trifecta maybe, but just not to win. He's not a use on the the pick four tickets for me. Number three, Cherry Wine at 8-1. Corey Lannery for Dale Romans. This horse is out of Patio Prado. It was a very good horse. Last time out, this horse ran the Preakness, closed up to a very nice second place finish, just getting second by the weakening Nyquist, who finished third. And this horse finishing second gave me the super factor that day. Made a lot of money at that Preakness day. But this horse, he had a horrible race. He hit the gate on the way out. It was a little bit wide, but had a decent second place finish. He's a used for me on some super factor tickets, maybe even the exacta. The win, he'll have to have a very good closing kick. A lot of closes in this race, but, contrary to what people believe, the Belmont Stakes isn't a closers kind of race. You have to be near the lead. But you've seen horses close up really good, like Birdstone. He had a really good move at the quarter pole with Smarty Jones, and just got Smarty Jones at the 16th pole or something like that, between 16th and the last 100 yards, we'll say, or 50 yards. He got the win. He closed up really good. It was just him. But it's not the closers kind of race. But I think, since there's a lot of closers, I think there should be, there's going to be some kind of, there's going to be a closing kicker. You're going to see a lot of horses coming, I think. You have very little pace. You need a pace to have really deep closers, but I think we'll see closers even without the manic pace. So I think he should do well. I think he finished third in the Bluegrass, closing up incredibly well, and finished fourth in the Rebel. He's never started here at Belmont. He's been training. He had a 5-4 workout in a minute flat, fourth best out of 25 over this his only workout over the course. He's going to be the wise guy horse, I think. Number 4, sudden breaking news. My top selection in Derby at 10-1 for Mike Smith, who's on this one for the first time. First time riddling, whatever they want to call it. I don't want to explain the definition of that, but they found that he wasn't a gelding. He just had undecided, but last time out, this horse ran in the Derby. This horse finished 5th by 4.25 lengths. Was closing up on a racetrack that wasn't playing to closers that day. Haven't exaggerated, closed very well that day, but he wasn't, had a little traffic early. It was a little trouble, but he closed up very nice. In the Arkansas Derby, this horse finished second by 1.25 lengths. I think an extra 16th of a mile, this horse was definitely winning. He finished 5th in the Rebel and won the Southwest, coming from 14th to win. He's your stereotypical closer. He should run a monster race. Watch out for this one. He's a definite use in some win categories for me, and pick fours. I have him on a few super factor tickets. He's gonna have a monster race, I think, with Mike Smith, who knows how to win the Belmont, I think. So gonna go with this one. I'm also going to go, number 5, Stradivari, is another horse that I really like, who could, as a top selection, he could have been, on the list. I have 2 horses that I really like. I'm going to play a few dollars to win on them. But Stradivari could have been on that list as a top selection. I do him on pick 3 tickets and pick 4 tickets. But, he's out of Medaglia Oro, who finished second, I believe, in 2002, behind, who's that? Sarava, who was 71, who paid like $180, something like that. But this horse finished 4th in the Preakness, first time in stakes company. Was very rank early. He really wanted to run. He's owned by the Coolmore Group with John Velasquez up. It was a decent 4th place finish. I think he should have a monster improvement today. And then he won in the Lounge race at Keeneland Mile 8th. He won by 14.25 lengths. And if you remember his maiden win, I remember it was the first race of the Gulfstream Park Championship meet. This horse won by 11.25 lengths from an outside post position, going mile 16th and having a post position, 4 out, 4 to the outside. It's just horrible, because you're going to go wide. What this horse did that day was pretty impressive. And I just remember that race, and I remember the next time he ran in that allowance race, Keeneland put a lot of money into it on him. I think this horse, he's going to have a monster race. Like I said, I have him pick 3 tickets, pick 4 tickets. Like I said, I went too deep. He could have been the 3rd horse as a top selection in this race for me, but I want to keep it at 2 deep. Number 6, Gettysburg at 30-1. He has some speed here. He finished 5th in the Arkansas Derby, setting the pace. After that, he ran a few weeks ago on the 26th of May in an official claimer for $80,000. This horse finished 3rd by 6.25 lengths. The winner, Gift Box, ran a hell of a race. That race could have been, I remember that race so clearly, because that race could have been, a graded stakes, could have been a grade two or even a grade one, I think. But he finished third by 6.25 lengths, 6.5 lengths that day. It was a little over even money. He just weakened. This horse finished fifth in the Arkansas Derby, second in the Land Festival Derby, whatever they wanted to call it this year. He's going to be the speed. I don't think he's going to win. He gets Paco Lopez, first time trainer for Steve Asmussen. Not a use, but his Pioneer Nile, is his sire, whose dad is Empire Maker, who won this race on the slot in 2003, June 7th of 2003, I believe, or June 6th, something like June 7th, actually. But, not a use for me in any tickets. Number 7, Seeking the Soul, 31, Florent Giroux for Dallas Stewart. This horse broke his maiden a few weeks ago, May 29th at Churchill, going a one-turn mile. It won by neck. It was a decent maiden win. There's nothing to fault, but I think he's just coming to stakes company way too quickly. I would like to see this horse have a stake start, a start around 2 turns. He's definitely not a use for me. Maybe later on, see what this horse does in the race. If he does anything better than eighth, I would like to see this horse later on in his career. See what he does, because he has some nice, sires and dams. That looks good, but it's not a use for me. Number 8, Forever Dioro, not Oreo, Forever Dioro at 31. Jose Ortiz, leading rider here at Belmont Park with 51 wins at Medaglia d'Oro, who finished second, like I said, in 2002, and whose dam is Lemons Forever, whose daddy is Lemon Drop Kid, who won the 99 for Belmont Stakes. But, this horse broke her maiden a few weeks ago here at Belmont, going a mile 16th, won by nose, closed up really well, was a little over even money. It just really had a good start after had a really good finish after a bad start. Let me say that correctly. But this horse is again like the 7 horse, come to stakes action too quickly. Maybe we'll get the distance, but I think the class is just way too high for this horse at the moment. Watch out, maybe in a few starts time this horse can really do. But does have some really nice, has a really nice workout before that. I have to say, I think I had this horse on May 29th. He was the final leg of a pick 5. And I remember him being a single for me. And this horse coming into that race had a very good workout. And I knew that horse was going to run big, and he did. But today, I don't think he's going to... He doesn't have a very good chance to win. Number 9, Trojan Nation, a maiden here at 31, Aaron Grider. Like I said, the 7-8 horse have no chance. I'd rather pick the maiden over the 7 and 8, because I think he's just... he's had more experience. Even though he's never won, he's more experienced. He finished 16th in the Derby by 26 3/4 lengths. He was far back early. He was 20th, 19th, 18th, finished 16th. He was closing very, very, very small amount of ground he was closing. He had a bad start too. He had a very good Wood Memorial run in the at Aqueduct on the mud. He finished second, closing very well, almost beating Outwork. I think we figured out Outwork is not a mile and a quarter horse. He's more towards the mile, like his dad, Uncle Mo. But everybody's saying, do we take the Wood Memorial this year? Before the Derby, everybody was saying, do we take the Wood Memorial as as a legitimate prep race, because maiden almost won? I guess not, because Outwork ran nothing. This horse ran like nothing either. Like I said, this horse has never run. He should get the distance, but he's just going to be a little bit too overmatched. Maybe on the superfecta, I would put him on the bottom. 4th at the best, I think he could finish, but like I said, I don't think he could really win. Not a use for me. Number 10, Lonnie, 20-1, one of 2 horses to run in all 3 legs of the Triple Crown. This horse has been improving with every start this year. He's with every start in the state since the Derby. He has this 3-year-old colt out of Tappet, Yutaka Take, who's the best rider in Japan, one of the best riders in the world. This horse, last time out, ran at Pimlico, mile 3/16 on the slop in the Preakness. This horse finished 5th by 5 lengths, closed up very well, I must say. It was far back early. It was basically last by 27 lengths, 22 lengths, 13 lengths, 9.5 lengths. He finished fifth by 5 lengths. But what he did, you have to watch the replay. What he did for that fifth place finish was pretty impressive. Everybody was saying before the Derby, this horse is dog. This horse is dog. If he finishes, better than like 18th, we'll be surprised. This horse finished ninth in the Derby, a decent ninth place finish. Again, he was far back early. He was 17th, 16th, 13th, 11th, ninth. He's been, like I said, he's been improving with every start in the States. He won the UAE Derby. He's a very fit horse. He's been running or jogging many laps around the Belmont park surface. He did 3 mile jogs. He's the fittest horse in the group. He's bred to go this mile and a half distance. I think this is the race we might see the Japanese invader will have a very nice run. I think 20 to 1. I think he's going to run big. He's been training here at Belmont Park, 5 furlong workout, minute and 2/5 of a second. Second best workout 16, and a 3 furlong workout 38 flat, 13th best out of 19. Even after the Derby, they took this horse to prep to train here at Belmont Park for the Preakness. So he's been over this track now for at least the last 6.5 weeks. So he's got accustomed to it. Like I said, he should really run a hell of a race. I think he's a definite use in pick four in a pick four sequence. Number 11, Exaggerator, 9-5, Kent DeSormo for Keith DeSormo out of Curlin, who finished second in this race in 2007. Behind, I think second behind Rags to Riches, the filly. But last time out, this horse won the Preakness and made me a lot of money that day with that wager. Hit the pick 6, hit the Superfecta, hit a pick 3, hit a pick 4. It was a very good day for me that day. But this horse had a very good run. He got the lead and just went away with it. That second place finish in the Derby was incredible. Also, he closed incredibly well on it. Track that wasn't playing towards closers. The reason he won last time, also, I want to just get this out of the way. I think Nyquist, finally saw a horse that will give him some pressure. You didn't see that in the Derby. No horse really went after Nyquist. You had a lot more speed in the Preakness, so this horse really got a good advantage of the extra speed. So watch. Like I said, this horse is a wise guy horse. With the lack of extra speed that he got in the Preakness today, I think he's not gonna have. He's not going to have an easy trip like he did in the Preakness. I think he had a very easy trip in the Preakness. I think he's going to have to work very hard to win. If it rains, well, then we might change our mind, because if he rains, he has a very good wet course record. But I'll use him on some tickets. I'll use him in some tickets for sure. But in superfectas, I like to go, a bit of a long shot play on top. I'm not going to use him. I'll use him on the bottom, but not for the top first spot. I think this might be a year that we see 3 different horses win every Triple Crown leg. So, he's been coming in the race good, but, I think he might be a little tired for this. In my personal eyes, I don't think he could win, but a lot of people say he's coming to race good. But like I said, Superfecta plays. In the pick 4 legs, I'll use him, and Superfecta's on top. I won't. Sounds weird, I know, but number 12, Brody's Cause at 21, Louis Saez out of Giants Causeway, and Stormcat. This horse finished 7th in the Derby by 9.5 lengths. Closed up, a little bit. But was very wide. Had a horrible trip. Then he won the Bluegrass, closing on a track that was really, very nice. And then he finished 7th in the Tampa Bay Derby, first start of the year. This horse will have to get a good run today. I don't think he has a very good chance of winning. I threw this horse out. It's kind of a wise guy kind of horse. I just don't like this horse here, so he's not a use for me. And number 13, Creator at 10-1, Steve Asmussen, a horse who is another closer. He finished 13th in the Derby, didn't close at all, basically. It was far back early, didn't improve as the race went on. He won the Arkansas Derby, closing very well from 12th to he was 12th early and won the race in the stretch closing. Had a lot of traffic trouble that day also, but I think he could go the mile and a half distance, but he's not a use for me in the win. Maybe in the bottom of a superfecta. But he's a very weird horse. He won twice. He won a maiden special weight at Oaklawn, and he won the Arkansas Derby. So both wins came over that surface in Arkansas. But it's just he's a very weird horse. So he's not going to be on my pick three or pick four tickets. Bottom superfecta maybe. So yeah. So now to my selections here after going through every horse. I'm going to use three. I said I wasn't going to use two. I was only going to use two, but I forgot about Lonnie. I'm going to use three horses here to win. Main horses on my main tickets for pick threes and pick fours. I'm going to go 1 4 10. 1 4 10. I'll use on the pick four tickets. I'll use Exaggerator, but the main horses I'll have on superfecta tickets and multi race wagers. I'll use the 1 4 10. For superfecta, I'll go 1 4 10, and then I'll box that for first and I'll do and then I'll do 2 3 5 10 11. So 1 4 10 with the 2 3 5 10 11 box for the bottom spots. So yeah, but I really like Governor Malibu as a very good horse here to upset. Sudden breaking news, another good horse, and Lonnie. He should have a very monster run. So those are the three horses. So number 1 4 10 are the horses I think that could win the Belmont Stakes this year. So good luck to all, and follow me on Twitter at Horse Racing Kid 5. Good luck, everybody.